It is so bright in the garden today that I'm going to sit on my steps and film this Ask Nell video. This question came in from Sue. It was in regards to a comment that I'd made on one of the blogs about I don't really fertilize plants. I believe in amending the soil, but I did mention that I do fertilize citrus and I fertilize roses. And she asked, what is the best way to fertilize roses? Stick around and you'll find out what I do. I was a professional gardener in the San Francisco Bay Area for over 20 years, and I have fertilized hundreds of roses, and they really benefit from a good feeding or 2 or 3 throughout the season. Now, I would start the fertilizing in early March up there where you are. It might be end of April. You don't want to start fertilizing too early because you don't want to force out new growth and then have it get hit by a frost. So be sure to wait until the last danger of frost has passed. And in my humble horticultural opinion, this is the best way to fertilize roses. It always worked for me. I kept them nice and healthy. I used 1 part rose and flower food. I used 1 part alfalfa meal, and then I would use half a part of either composted chicken manure or worm castings, and I would mix that all in, and then I would feed the roses with that. The brand that I like personally the best is Dr. Earth, totally organic. I will leave the link to the fertilizers in the post and also in the description box below if you want some for your roses. Also great for anything that flowers. Other brands I've used are E.B. Stone, Fox Farm, Happy Frog, and Gardener and Bloom. They're all organic. That's the only way I go. And organic fertilizers take longer to break down and to work, but they also work slower. So it's a nice, slow but steady way to fertilize your roses. And I would do it 2 or 3 more times throughout the growing season. If you're in an area where you are going to get a frost at the end of September, you want to stop fertilizing in maybe August, mid-August, end of August, depending on where you are, because you don't want to put out again a lot of new blooms and a lot of new foliage, and then you have it get hit by a frost. And when we had quite a few roses to do, we would mix up that mixture in a pail and we do them all that way, rather than just carrying the boxes around and measuring them with a cup into each one. I'd use about a cup or 2 for a larger rose bush, half a cup to a cup for a smaller rose bush. You can decide, you can just follow the directions on the box. For the rose and flower food, it'll give you, if the rose is this big, you use this much. If it's this big, you use that much. And because roses don't have a really huge, extensive root system, they have more like main tap roots. You don't want to go out far around the drip line. You want to sort of go in between the base of the rose out halfway to the drip line, and you make a well and dig a well, and then you work the fertilizer into that, and then you cover it back up and you water the rose really well after you have applied the fertilizer in there. And speaking of watering, you want to make sure that your roses are well watered before you fertilize them, because you never want to fertilize a plant that is stressed. So that is my favorite blend for fertilizing roses. It's really pretty simple. Alfalfa meal is great for roses. I don't know if some farmer dropped some alfalfa pellets into his rose bed and they all of a sudden started doing really well, but they love alfalfa meal. And as I said, 3 times during the season, and your roses will be gorgeous. So thank you for the question. If you have any other questions, send them on in. And again, the links will be down below and in the post. I thank you so much for watching. Now let's get out in the garden and make the world a more beautiful place. And don't forget to subscribe. Bye.